Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me today for another episode of Gold Wingnut Live. Each week I answer your questions about things happening in Sumter County and the villages. These weekly broadcasts and the construction update videos I produce are two of the ways I bring information to you about the construction happenings here in the villages. At Gold Wingnut Productions, I also provide a photo video service for new homes under construction. If you're building a new home in the villages and you need someone to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates, then contact me through my website, goldwingnut.com, and arrange for a photo video package for your new home. I've nearly 20 years in the construction industry as a project manager, and in the last 6 years, Gold Wingnut Productions has provided this valuable service to over 300 homeowners. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work's being done right and when it's not. I'm not just taking pictures like some others do. I'm watching your home build with a trained eye to help ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange your package today. Now let's get started with the show. Well, good afternoon everybody, and welcome to Gold Wingnut Live. Little humor today. Obviously, big news, I guess, in the news cycle all week has been this Sydney Sweeney ad for American Eagle Outfitters. I'll be honest with you, I never even heard of Sydney Sweeney before this all broke. Somebody sent me that video, a link to that video. I thought I'd share it with you. I thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, so again, welcome to the show. Today's sponsor is Gold Wingnut Productions. You saw my ad. I've decided that every once in a while I need to advertise my business because I found out that a lot of people don't know that I do the home construction videos and photos. So I figured, what the heck today? So what's on everybody's mind? Let's see, what do we got here for messages? Mark Edwards says, uh-oh. Whoever it is, I can't pronounce your name. Sorry. Is that your American Eagle ad? Very annoying. No, it's not an American Eagle ad. It's actually just making fun of the whole situation, the way some people are melting down. And makes some very valid points too. Too hot for jeans. Okay. Yeah, it is kind of warm out today. I shot those videos early in the morning, right after sunrise, just because it was just way too hot. Hello, Victoria. Nice to see you again. So, what's on everybody's mind? Yeah, there's been a few things happening, obviously, here in the villages. People are melting down over this whole thing with monitoring the amenities. It's like, wow. You want to monitor the amenities, that's fine, but be advised if there's going to be a cost, and it's a significant cost, and it is. I mean, we are talking a couple of $100,000 just for the hardware to implement it. I know I was in this business for the better part of 20 years. Mike B wants to know, did you make it down for a trolley tour to Eastport? Time for Eastport sales office opening. So, David, the Eastport sales office opens tomorrow morning. As far as, did I make it down there? I absolutely did. I ran into, Rusty also when I was down there. Ran into a few people I knew. Oh my gosh, he does bubble wrap. What's his name? I apologize. He used to be in the news business. He's always on Jerry and Linda's channel. But ran into him also. I slipping my mind. Too many things going on today. Been a busy morning, but oh wow. What else is happening, folks? Time. What time? Oh, I was there at I had a 9 o'clock tour of Eastport. I actually was there until for like 2 hours, taking some pictures and looking around. It's pretty nice. I mean, One of the nice things that's going to happen is the dog park's going to open. So right now, if you're down south of Eastport in Shady Brook, Water's Edge, and Moultrie Creek, you've got to go all the way up to Homestead or the dog park in the village of Linden. Peter Bernard, that was it. Yeah. Thank you, Victoria and Paul, and Jim. Yeah, okay, I got it. You know, the brain gets a little ragged at this age, I guess. At this age, heck, I'm 64. I guess I'm young by some villages' standards, but oh, excuse me. You know me and my coffee. I gotta have it. Gotta have it. The sales office is incredible. The village spares no expense. Can't wait for Eastport to eventually open. Yeah, so let's talk about Eastport. You walk into that sales office, and you get this real long hallway that goes all the way out to the waterfront. And it's not really a hallway, but it is, I guess, kind of a foyer, a long foyer. They've got waiting areas off to the side with videos playing and nice, comfortable furniture. At the end of it, they've got a coffee shop that's supposed to open up on Monday as well. So that's going to be nice. Be able to go over and get a cup of coffee. One of the other things opening up is, what's her name? Sophie Doodles, the dog park. I don't know when all the, all the outdoor recreational areas, the pickleball courts and all that are supposed to be opening up. I don't know when they're going to start taking reservations. The ball fields are opening up, platform tennis and shuffleboard and all that. So not the pool, though. The pool is still under construction. And the waterfront area isn't going to be open except for, I guess, that little part in front of the sales office where they've got that big star in the middle of it. One of the nice things, and it wasn't visible on the aerial shots, but it was one of the first things I noticed when I walked outside. If you remember, for the last year I've been talking about Eastport, and one of the things they're going to do is have the ability to expand the entertainment area out into the road because they're closing the road off. Well, to help facilitate that, there's no curb. There's no curb when you go from the entertainment area to the road and then to the commercial area. Now, towards the ends, there are just past the to the north of the sales office, the curb starts. But in front of the sales office and going around, no curb. So that's really, really going to be a nice added feature. I will tell you that going down there, it looks a lot smaller than it does from the air. From the air, it looks huge, but different perspective once you're on the ground. So let's see. Based on your research, Don, do you believe there will be a Courtyard Villa neighborhood located on the Woodlands Golf Course? Oh, there already is. It looks like designer homes and veranda homes to date. So Sharon, yeah, there already is one located. It's right up there on McNeil Drive, just south of McNeil Drive, and it's selling. I was by there today, and I saw one house with a car in front of it, so I'm assuming it was occupied. Let's see. It's a shame there's no parking downtown Eastport. Going to be a walk for people to get there, get to the music. Not really, because there's a lot of parking right behind the buildings. You know, the amount of parking that's really around the town squares, like in Brownwood, Lake Sumter Landing, and that, it's really a small number of parking spots in the grand scheme of things. I think the space is better spent how they've got it designed, with the being able for people to put chairs and things like that there. So I don't think it's going to be that bad at all. And the walk isn't really that far. Is the island off limits? Mark wants to know. At this point, yes, it is. They had it They had it blocked off. Now it could be different tomorrow morning when they open up things. We'll see. I plan to make a quick trip down there and take a look around just to see how it goes. Hello, villagers. I started taking Focus Factor for memory. I can't remember if it works or not. Such is life at our age. At least we are in the villages. I can't remember if it works. That's good. Very good. Let's see. Greg wants to know, will all the new villages have their own recreation centers? It seems like Lakeview, being so small and near many other recreation centers, would not need one. So each village doesn't get a recreation center. They have a swimming pool and a postal station, and they call that a neighborhood rec center. Okay, and it's a recreation area. You know, they've got some shuffleboard and a few other things, but no pickleball courts generally, or other things. Just a few things to do while you go get the mail. Maybe there's a swimming pool. The village recreation centers are like Blanchard, which is under construction and it's coming along like crazy. Water Lily, Franklin, Central Pay, and those are centrally located. Generally, they serve 2, sometimes 3 villages. When I had the house in the village of Hillsborough, we had between 466A and 44. There was like 1, 2, 3, Manatee. That's 5, 6 or 7 of these villages rec centers. So not bad. It just a lot depends on the area. Let's see. Rich wants to know, any idea what will replace the sales office in Everglades and Sawgrass? Not yet. Everglades, obviously, it's part of the recreation center, so there's going to be some renovations. What will they do with it? If I had to guess, based on its location and the lack of what's in other regional rec centers, my guess is a fitness center will probably go into Everglades. But Sawgrass, that shop, it's going to be a shop, maybe a restaurant. I don't know. I don't know what kind of infrastructure was built into it. Because if it's a restaurant, there's certain infrastructure, grease traps and things like that have to go there. But that's, again, not knowing what's in there. It's hard to say. It could just be a shop, but it has huge potential just based on the way it's laid out. It's got 3 entrances, so it could be. There's a lot of potential, yeah. Hello Villager says, has paperwork been filed? When do you think the grocery store in Middleton will start construction? So paperwork has been filed with the Water Management District. If you watched my last video, 158, that came out this past week, I showed you some shots from that, the plans that were filed. I do believe it's going to be Publix. And just because of the island, the drive-through pharmacy and all that, everything in it reads just like all the other Publix stores. When will they actually start construction? A couple months. There's a lot going on right now there that'll have to be cleaned up before they can start work. Let's see. Let's see. LD says the new Jacobs trucks are picking up trash and doing turnarounds so fast they are tearing up the asphalt. Who should I notify? Notify the district government. Okay, they are responsible for that. So the roads themselves, they belong to the city of Wildwood. but the district government does have some responsibility. So just go to the District Gov website. Let's see, I think we can pull that up. All right, let's see. Yeah, go to Contact Us. Click on District Office and Customer Service. And come on, where's it at? There it is. At the bottom, you can fill out this form, a bunch of different categories here, and send the information in, or you can just call. Either way, okay. I did it once again. All right, we go back to the District Gov website. Go to Contact Us and scroll down right there, and there's the information you put in there. I have two screens that I'm looking at. One's called Preview, one's called Program, and I got to hit the transition button to transition between the two. All right, we're back. Let's see, who should I know? Okay, let's see. Joe B says, "Hey Joe, good to see you. Great comments we got this past week, huh? Host during Eastport said the grocery store in Eastport recently signed a contract, but not announced yet. Public has been announced for Middleton." Yeah, so I don't know. I've heard a short list, but no confirmation. We'll see what happens. They're going to keep that one under wraps pretty tight, I think. Do you think they? Okay, Caveman770 says, "Do you think there will still be Do you think they will still do a grocery store at the intersection of Old 470 and Marsh Bend?" I don't know. That's going to be a different developer because that's not on Village's property. They have no control over that. The center unit in that, and there's like maybe a dozen units altogether, including the out parcels, is large. Okay, so it has the potential for something like a grocery store. I wouldn't say Aldi is out of the question. I mean, they've started to make a huge presence here in the Villages in Sumter County area. I mean, there's one up in the Lady Lake. There's one at 301 and 466. There's the one over by Lowe's. So, it's definitely moving. So, but I don't know. Again, no idea what's going to go in there. Nothing has been announced. Again, that's a separate developer. Hello Villager says, "It looks like Church at the Springs in Middleton may have started construction. It looks like the underground piping is going in." Yep, I flew that yesterday. They have a construction trailer there. They've had a construction trailer there, though, for a couple of months, I think. Talking with some people that know what's going on there, they are proceeding slowly to make sure that their finances are in order. They do not appear to want to accumulate any long-term debt building this church, and the borrower is slave to the lender, is what the Bible says. So would not surprise me. Let's see. John Kim Norris says, "Hi Don, curious on your thoughts about garage floor protection, epoxy, polyurethane versus and tiles versus etc." So, it depends on what you're doing in your garage. These paint, I'll just call them paint because that's what they really are. They're epoxy paint or whatever. They look great, no doubt about it. They make for a non-skid floor, which is great. But if you're like me and you've got something heavy, like I have a 900-pound motorcycle that when I set it on the side stand, it would just peel that epoxy coating right up. I don't care how good it is. I've seen it before, and it just peels it right up, peels paint up, everything. So I went with the tiles, and I'm very happy with that. But for aesthetics, any of the painted on ones look pretty good. Hello Villager says, what are your thoughts on lightning rods' effectiveness in the area? Worth it or not, the developer puts them on their commercial buildings. Yeah, the commercial buildings get them generally because they're taller. Um, what are the chances of getting struck by lightning? Pretty low. Been here 11 years. Never had a problem. Um, it's not going to protect everything. It provides a low resistance path to ground for the energy to discharge, but you're still going to get damage with lightning protection. You still are going to get damage just because it's such a tremendous amount of energy. Um, yeah. Uh, so are they if what's the expression? Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So if you're concerned, definitely go with it. There's several reputable people that have it. I would talk to some of your neighbors who may have it, see who they used. That way you get a better idea of pricing and what you're looking for. Craig says, we are new to your channel and visiting for the first time this week. Okay. Okay, wait, sorry. I lost my spot here. We are new to your channel and visiting for the first time in a week and a half. Is there a VA clinic closer to Eastport, or do I have to go up north? You got to go all the way up north. It's from Eastport. It's about a 45-minute drive on the village's internal roads. If you go up 301, you might cut 5 minutes off of it. This is a big community. Okay, it's almost 20 miles end to end right now. So you're going to have to go up north. I've only been there one time just to stop in, but didn't stay. Terry wants to know, any idea what development, if any, occurs west of 301 of the turnpike across from DeLuna entrance down to Coleman? There's supposed to be a hospital, an emergency room, like a I think they call it a micro hospital. What else? I think there's an apartment complex or development going on there. But other than that, I haven't really seen a lot. Beyond that, of course, is Monarch Ranch, which is going to be a huge industrial complex eventually. Mark wants to know, is it likely that the village's developer division of the company will go bankrupt, worried about the Health Citizens Bank sold? Now village has grown. What happened if they don't finish Eastport? No, they're not going bankrupt. Okay. There's some Village has grown didn't turn out to be as successful as they thought, and some of the key people left the company that were involved with that. That's my understanding. The village's health, that's a whole different thing. The bank being sold, my understanding is that's more about having greater lending power because a bank is limited on how much it can lend. My experience with the developer has been that they are very, very honest people and of very high moral character, and that I am sure they're pretty upset about this whole thing with the village's health. Heads will roll, as they say, if they find someone was willful in causing it. But I'm not worried about the village's developer. They have substantial financial resources. They will weather this without any problem. All right. Let's see. Hello, villagers. Do you think that the large amount of resales the last year are mostly because folks selling to move near Eastport. Seems sales numbers are the same as always, just more listings. I take a sip of coffee so I can gather my thoughts before I open my mouth. So as the Villages gets bigger, there's always going to be a certain percentage of resales. When I moved to the Villages 11 years ago, there was, 45,000 homes, okay? If 1% of the homes were on the resale market, well, that's 450 homes. Well, now there's 75,000 homes, okay? If 1% is on the market, that's 750 homes. So the real question is the influx of people. If those numbers remain relatively, constant, then we're going to see a larger volume of resales because the number of buyers isn't growing as fast as the community is growing on the resale side. Yes, there are a lot of people who are buying homes and moving. I had a phone call just before the show from a lady who bought in Water's Edge. They just put her house up for sale in Water's Edge. They're building in Eastport, Edenfield. When I was out shooting the first commercial you saw this morning, talking with a gentleman. He had lived on McMurtry over in Moultrie Creek, and now he lives, I think, in Oak Hollow, and he just got a lot finally after 15 tries over in Edenfield. You know, we're talking a year, and he's already working on number 3. He says he flips houses. Okay, you know what? That's good. But yeah, I think the resales are definitely going to be favoring the buyer over the years. But that's only because there's more quantity, a bigger quantity for sale because the community is bigger. Again, if we just look at it on a percentage basis, as long as that percentage doesn't jump to 5%, then I see nothing to worry about. But I definitely think resales will become a buyer's market. Joe B says, is new home construction slowing down? I don't see it, but a YouTube realtor thinks so. I don't buy it. Based on permits filed with the county, they're not slowing down. They're not slowing down. I know who you're talking about. These realtors, they like to cast aspersions on the Villages because they don't get a piece of the pie for sales. But what they do get is a lot of hits on any kind of negative story about the Villages that they can post, and typically each hit on YouTube is a penny to 2 to 3 cents. And I saw one this morning. I was just looking around on YouTube, and it had 1.5 million hits. Okay. That's $50,000 that YouTuber made from doing a hit piece on the Villages. And, yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. Can you fill us in on early voting for the district you represent? So there's no early voting for the district. What's happening is Senator Blazingolius, formerly Senator Blazingolius, now he is the state's chief financial officer. He was our state senator for Sumter County and 2 other counties. Because he has taken a new position, he was appointed to a new position by the governor, we've got to fill his spot. So in September, we'll start early voting. I think, man, you know what? I'm not going to count the dates because I don't remember them off the top of my head. I just saw them briefly. Um, the so they've got to hold a special election. That was directed by the governor's office. So make sure you're registered to vote. I don't remember what the closing dates are. You can go to you register to vote over in Pinellas Plaza where the Gold Dome building is. Just go in there. You'll find it no problem. The supervisor elections office is right there. But beyond that, man, I don't want to comment on the dates because I don't remember. I know it's happening very quickly though. Have you tried Portillo's yet? No, I have not yet. They open, I think it's 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning. And, you know, I've heard a lot of good about it. I'm a beef lover. So I've heard their beef is really good. So I'm going to give it a try this week. You know, obviously if it's crowded, I might bypass it for a day or two, but we'll see. Victoria wants to know, do you think the villages will continue to raise prices on new builds in the next 1 to 2 years? As long as there is inflation, they will continue to raise their prices. It's just the nature of the beast. You know, it's gonna they're gonna go up. You know, unless we hit some period of recession with deflation, I don't see it. And I think the economy's running pretty strong right now. Mark says, if the volume of buyers does not keep up with the listings, the prices will stagnate or go down. Yeah, I mean, that is a possibility. I think what we'll see as this market continues to grow and change, I think we may see the villages start doing more advertising. I can remember years ago, they used to always advertise on Fox News and the Golf Channel and all this other stuff. And they stopped that, but I think it may start back up again. Okay. Mark says, by the way, I watch Robin, Gibbo, and Caitlin to keep up on the MLS side. Yeah, I mean, when they're, you know, Gibbo, I believe that's how, Gilbo is how he pronounces it. I apologize if I'm mutilating your name. He does some great stuff on the MLS listings. I mean, he shows some really nice properties, does a good deal about showing them and explaining the different aspects of it. But he also likes to do hit pieces, in my opinion. Let's see. Will the developer's office spaces in Middleton move over to Eastport so the space in Middleton can be opened up for retail? I don't think so. They just opened that up last year. I have been in it a couple of times. It would be an incredible waste of money if they moved. It is an absolutely gorgeous office space, and I don't think they have any intentions anytime soon of moving. You know, it puts them close to one of their design facilities. If you look at Middleton, on the west side of Middleton, they built some buildings. Oh man, this chair hurts after a while. And those buildings are where the part of the design team is that lays out, you know, the streets and the sewage and retention ponds and all that. What you call it? Sorry. Squirrel, something shiny shot in front of my eyes. All right. But so that puts them real close, and I don't see it. I don't see it. They're still building retail space there, so I think they're going to be there for a few more years. They were in Brownwood for, I guess, 7 or 8 years, maybe, give or take. Yeah. I can't remember when the Easterbrook building was built. I'd have to go look back. It was about 7 years ago, I think. All right. Would that YouTuber be Gilbo? No comment. Let's move on. Excuse me. All right. What else? We got 159 people here. What time is it? Holy mackerel. No wonder my back is hurting me. It's time to, I need to stretch. So I'll be right back. Thanks for sticking with today's broadcast of Gold Wingnut Live. Pardon me for just a minute while I go grab a fresh cup of coffee and stretch my legs and back. While you're waiting, let me ask you a quick question. Are you building a new home in the Villages and need someone with a trained eye to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates? Then contact me through my website, goldwingnut.com, and arrange for a photo-video package of your new home. I've nearly 20 years experience as a construction project manager, and I've been offering this valuable service to residents for over 6 years. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work is being done right and when it's not. Fortunately, serious issues are rare, but even the most minor issues are better caught during construction than during closing. I'm not just taking pictures of your home like others do. I'm watching your home being built with a trained eye to ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange for your package today. Now let's get back to the broadcast. Hey, I'm back, and I did get a fresh cup of coffee. I am a coffee addict, what can I say? All right. All right, where are we at here? Let's see, we got some more things coming in. Well, we already talked about that. Developer coming, moving out of Middleton. So yeah, again, I don't see it. There's a lot happening in Middleton if you're not aware. Four Rivers. Apparently they had to get a new contractor. So, but things are picking up. And what day did we go by there? Came by the house and took Debbie over there for some chocolate martinis. And, oh yeah, it was Friday, because then we went to go see Freakier Friday, and over in the movie theater in Lakeland. No, not Lakeland. Leesburg. Whew, Lakeland. Haven't been Lakeland in, gosh, 12 years since I moved out of Haines City. But they're making huge progress on it. Middleton 24, another restaurant. I think it's going to be a breakfast and lunch type restaurant. But you know, we'll see. Maybe it is full service, 3 meals, 2 or 3 meals. I don't know. Always good to have more choices when it comes to restaurants. What else? What's the name of it? Custom Apparel is opening up, and oh man, what else? Of course, we've got Portillo's, yeah, but there's a lot of restaurants coming over to Middleton, which I think is great. Kevin says, oh yeah, hi Don, saw you Tuesday. Yep, I know, I remember seeing you at the Welcome Home Center, and we walked around the outdoor facilities. Eastport looks great. So Joe B says 8 at Four Rivers in Daytona Beach. Excellent. They will be a feast edition. Okay. Oh, I'm sure it's great. I fat fingered the keyboard. Okay, Joe. So, all right. I gotta say, I know Four Rivers specializes in beef barbecue. I'm a pork kind of guy. I spent 7 or 8 years living in Memphis where pork was king. I have developed a huge taste for pork, ribs, especially dry rub ribs. Oh my gosh, awesome. Got those. I got to taste those at Corky's in Memphis, and at the Rendezvous in downtown Memphis. And it's just, so I'm a pork fan, but I'll give them their shot. Everybody deserves a good shot. Michael Lay says, just got online. I'm not in the Villages yet. Can you take a golf cart to the new Costco? Yes, you can. It is golf cart accessible. It's golf cart accessible. It was designed to be golf cart accessible by that location, which is, that's an important thing. I don't know why you'd want to take your golf cart to Costco, because when you buy that 100-roll package of toilet paper, that's the only thing you're getting on your golf cart. Maybe strap it to the roof. I don't know. I know that whenever I go to Costco or Sam's Club, it seems like I always buy big things, 15 rolls of paper towels, 60 rolls of toilet paper, stuff like that. So, so anyway, yeah. So you'll be able to, you can take your golf cart there. When I went there on opening day, silly me. Actually, it wasn't that bad. The parking lot was full, but I did find a parking spot without any problems. It only took me about 2 minutes. I was on the motorcycle. I was kind of concerned I was taking my life in my hands, but everything went smoothly. When I left there, I had to make a left turn. I had to wait for 2 cars to go by. So the traffic, when I was there, the traffic that everybody feared has not manifested itself yet. We'll see. Obviously, it's still new, so a lot can happen. Any news on Harry's opening day? I have not heard anything. I saw on his Facebook post that, I think he's hiring staff and that. They're very close. I heard a rumor of possibly late this month. We'll see. I'm going to reach out to the owner. He sent me an email about a month and a half ago. So I'll reach out to him and see if I can get any insights and maybe get some inside shots of it. Okay, we just talked about Harry and the Natives. Take your cart to Costco for a hot dog. Okay, if you live up that way, sure. I'm not sure it's worth the drive, though. If you live down in the south end, like many of the viewers on the show here, you're talking, that's an hour's golf cart ride, easy. Between the 2 houses, when I owned the 2 houses, I would go back and forth in the golf cart. And it was 45 minutes from Hillsboro to Moultrie Creek houses. The Hillsboro house was up by Eisenhower. So yeah, it's a hike. But yeah. I would also decorate... Michael says I'd also decorate my golf cart with toilet paper and paper towels. Man, that's brutal. Okay. And Victoria, I don't know why it doesn't show up on that feed on the left, but Victoria just sent me a donation. Thank you very much, Victoria. You're always generous. Hope the fur babies are doing well. Thanks for all the hard work putting your videos together for all of us. Well, thank you. I actually, I got that video out and it took, 158 took a lot longer than I had wanted. So much so that I ended up scrapping it and restarting anew. And I pushed myself trying to get it out, trying to manage my time. And I got done, I got it up, I said, I can't continue at this poor pace. It was my neglect, because I had taken the attitude of, I'm not going to do anything this weekend. I'm going to take a break because I just got the video out. Wrong attitude. So I was out yesterday shooting. I've already done the map overlays on 2 of the 7 cuts that I shot. I'll do the rest of them tonight, and I'll start on the voiceovers for those cuts, and then tomorrow I'll do the rest of the cuts that I'm flying for. I'm going to try and get back on schedule like it was last year at 2 a month. We'll see how it goes though. Megan wants to know any prediction on when Lagrange lots will go on sale. Fall. They still have quite a few lots in Edenfield to go. They've got some patio villas and some verandas and some courtyard villas under construction. So those will go up for sale. They'll mix those in with releases of lots. So yeah, sometime in the fall. Let's see. Hello Villagers says, looks like the 2 bridges south of Moultrie Creek and Eastport are almost ready for the final concrete pour. I believe the southernmost one was poured. I haven't reviewed. I shot that footage yesterday, and It looks like it's been poured. That's on Bexley Trail, and that's the part of Bexley Trail that goes into the family area of Middleton. The one on Bar Boulevard, the rebar support and the troughs for the bridge foundation, or for the bridge itself, are in place. I would expect to see that being poured probably this week. I thought it was yesterday they were going to be pouring it, which is why I ran out and shot some video. I got over the house a little later than usual, was walking the dogs. I go on a 4-mile walk with the dogs, and going down Landstone and Gartner, I was watching. I counted 20, in the space of the 10 minutes it took me to walk that segment, I counted 25 dump trucks from Rainey Construction. And this was at 6:30 in the morning. And obviously they're going to move the soil that they have to do in preparation for building. And I saw 4 or 5 cement trucks, but then they stopped. So I figured that was out. Let's see. Oh yeah, any update on the non-villages retail? No, the non-villages retail project, Marsh Bend Trail and Old 470. Nothing new on that yet. So we will, but I'm keeping an eye on it. I mean, as soon as I see some sort of permitting come through, I will let everybody know. Caveman, thank you for your donation. You and Debbie have a chocolate martini on me. Thanks for the information and the videos. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Caveman. Mark wants to know, will the developer south of Central Parkway near the new executive golf... Let me try that again. Will they develop south of Central Parkway near the new executive golf courses before doing the new championship course area in the north? The answer to that is absolutely. It's happening right now. I flew it. The courses, the fairways are they're just about done. They're green. They're watering heavily, trying to make sure that they grow well. Yeah, that it's going to, CDD 16, which is the area you're talking about, is going to move from south to north. Okay. Jim O says, has the developer ever taken offers on new construction homes in the past that you know of? Offers. Oh, you mean other than what the listing price is? I've been here 11 years. I've never seen it, and I would not expect it to happen. You know, that when they open up that can of worms, it definitely makes things more difficult for them. You know, people start thinking that they can lowball and say, well, I'm just going to walk away after they get a contract. It opens it up to some really unfavorable tactics that really won't suit the development from growing. Sharon Lee says, what is the best air conditioning brand that you would recommend? Wow. So I'm very familiar with the smaller air conditioning units because I worked for Johnson Controls for many years, 20. I would be remiss if I dismissed York because it's owned by Johnson Controls. I think they do a great product, but York and Trane are definitely probably the top 2 I would consider. Do you think Eastport, Terry wants to know, do you think Eastport will be completed in the spring of 2026? Brownwood's not complete, and it's been 12 years, okay? I think they don't have quite the room for expansion that they had in Brownwood. but I think it will be substantially complete. A lot of what you call it, properties will open up by spring, but you know, I think it'll probably take them at least another year before everything is full there. Mark wants to know, they do cut prices on new homes that don't sell, like the garden villas. Yeah, the garden villas are an interesting animal. We'll get back to that. But generally, when you see price cuts, that's towards the end of an area. They're trying to close out an area of spec homes. We saw this over in Lake Denham and Dabney towards the end there. It probably will happen in Edenfield when they start, moving farther south, but the community is going to be substantially complete by then. So it's still going to be a while before we see something like that. Let's see. Victoria says, Megan, good. Oh, wait, hang on. What's this about? Good question about bonds in Middleton. I'm looking for a question about bonds. Eastport, price cuts. Victoria, I don't know what you're talking about, dear. I didn't see anything come across about bonds in Middleton. Wow. Look at this. It's already 5:04. Where did the time go? Today went fast, let me tell you. Today's been one of those whirlwind days for me. Like I said, the new commercials that I above my post. Victoria says, okay, hang on. I got I got two views here. Let me see. There it is. Megan says, just curious, do houses in Middleton have a bond? And since they are larger lots, are they more money? I don't know. I don't know the answer off the top of my head for absolute certainty, so I'm not going to comment on that. I can find out, but I believe they do have a bond. But what they run, I don't know. I really hadn't looked at it. If you're looking to buy in Middleton, it's a different community. It's got its own set of rules. It's got its own pluses. It's got its own minuses. Yep. Wow. Let's see. When do you think Eastport will open for the entertainment center? In the fall. In the fall. That's what they're saying. But in the fall, it's only 2 months away. I mean, here we are in the middle of August, and we've been in summer for a month almost, right? Yeah, okay, 3 weeks. So 2 months isn't too bad. Hello Villager says, many people are complaining about truck traffic using Central Parkway with roundabouts. Can you educate everyone on why Central Parkway could not be done any other way? Intersections would not work. So the plan was always to do the traffic circles. It was part of the county road agreement. Traffic circles are very highly regarded in the state of Florida because they keep traffic moving. Yes, the trucks have some challenges, but they are designed to handle a truck. Kevin says intersections would not work. Yeah, I mean, the problem with when you put intersections in, then you need traffic lights or stop signs. That slows traffic down a tremendous amount. And honestly, in the off hours, you really want the traffic circles, especially. Even during busy times, the traffic moves better with traffic circles. Lots of new blinds paying this month. Okay. Looks like they have thinned out the tree area between Marsh Bend Trail and Coleman Prison. Have you noticed that or noticed it from your drone? So I don't fly over that area because it is it's not a good idea for a drone because it's restricted airspace because of the prison, and I just as soon not have to wear silver bracelets with a connecting chain behind my back because you don't mess with Coleman Prison. But I'll look. I haven't paid that much attention to it. Most of the time, it seems like it's dark in the mornings when I come down this way, and when I go back up north, most of the time I'm going through Bexley Trail. Let's see, but I'll take a look. Let's see. Will they run out of bands for all these squares? No, they won't. They have plenty of bands on tap, and there's more happening all the times. Danny, good question. Is the Villages looking for a better way to handle outsiders using our amenities? So when you say the Villages, let's be clear. This is the district government having to handle this, and the recreation department. It's not the developer. The developer owns the amenities south of, well, in Water's Edge and south, and over in Lake Denham, Dabney, and Newell. That's the only amenities they own, so it's not their concern. But you know, the number of people using the amenities that aren't allowed is a lot smaller than what some certain online news sources would have you believe. I have some friends over in the rec department. In fact, I ran into John Rohan, the director of Parks and Recreations for the Villages, when I was over at Eastport, and we talked for a few minutes. That was one of the things we came up with, and they're not seeing it. Okay, you get one or two, and all of a sudden it's a crisis. And if you see somebody that shouldn't be there, call the district government, call the rec center. They will get over there and they can have them removed. Pool specific added to the question above. Pools are amenities. The outsiders using our amenities, I have to wonder, Danny, are you talking about the town squares? Because the town squares are not amenities. The championship courses are not amenities. Yep, and Eb just came up, town square music is not an amenity. People fail to realize that. Right. So amenities are recreation centers, are swimming pools, except for the ones at the championship courses, and the executive golf courses, our postal centers. Those are amenities. The town squares, the shopping areas, yeah. But just pools, again, they're not seeing it, okay? I think we hear the same stories told over and over again. All right, we do have people that rent that are allowed to use the pools. Some of them are under 55. They might be in their 20s or 30s. I'm not a big fan of short-term rentals. Long-term rentals, I love, because you get to meet some great people. Prime example, Ron and Marianne, my friends who moved away last month. They moved down to Port St. Lucie. Debbie and I miss them dearly. They were our Sunday Samba partners. They rented for like 7 years. And good people, solid people. And I've seen a lot of other renters. But it's the short term, the Airbnb, let me rent this for a week or 2 weeks or that, most of those turn into problems. In Ventura Villas, we had a couple of problems like that early on. Fortunately, most of those thinned out, but there's still occasionally problems. But yeah, again, the real question becomes is how much do you want to spend? Okay, like I talked about last week, a card reader is $500, $600, $700. Okay, plus then you got to have the control module, and you got to tie it into the system. Then there's programming, and so on and so forth. And some of the posts that I've seen on certain websites, they're saying, wow, we need to do this and implement this and that. You got to remember, the expensive part on doing something like this is the credentials. Those little cards that are, for getting through the gates. You have roughly 150,000 of them. If you're going to reissue, it is a phenomenal task. It is so labor intensive. Yes, you can export the database and re-import it and recreate the credentials, but still printing the credentials and assigning the badge number, if you will, or the credential number to the record is time intensive. Typically 1 a minute, so you're talking 60 an hour, 150,000 people, you're talking a lot of time to do that, and a lot of expense. What do you consider short-term versus long-term? Again, long-term, you're here for a month, 2 months, 3 months, that's long-term. Okay, even longer, great. Less than that, I'm not particularly fond of it. I know that some people rent to do like a lifestyle preview, and that's generally a different kind of renter. Unfortunately, we also have some people that rent and abuse, and it's that I have a problem with. Unfortunately, those type of short-term rentals are, for lack of better terms, a protected class here in Florida because of the vacationing people vacationing here, and they have a very strong lobbying group in Tallahassee, and I don't think we're going to ever get away from that. Middleton has bonds. Okay, thank you, hello villagers. Ours is lower than in the villages. The bond varies also by community in that. Let's see, Terry says, down the road, do you foresee another Edna's being built? It would not surprise me at all. I actually had expected one over in the Lake Denham-Dabney area, and I actually predicted that, but I was wrong. God, don't tell Debbie I said I was wrong again. She'll never let me live it down. She does. Anyway. So talking with Dr. Luster several years ago after Edna's opened up, that Edna's was an idea by some of the younger members of the developer's family to go with that, and apparently the senior members finally just reluctantly gave in and said go ahead and give it a try, and it turned out to be a huge success, more than anybody had expected. So I think the potential exists for it to happen again. Just has to be the right circumstance, the right location. Mark wants to know, why are short-term rentals not regulated like a hotel? The problem is a hotel has a special licensing process. It has to go through a special permitting process. When you want to do a short-term rental in your house, it's a one-on-one transaction, and there's no way to regulate it. I mean, there's no way to tax it because there is no licensing in that. It's a very difficult situation. At the county level, we're looking at it going, how do we fix this? There's nothing. We have no tools to fix this. And the state, again, I think they consider it a protected class, and we're not going to see any help anyway anytime soon. Let's see. Kim says, well worth the ride for a hot dog or sundae. We're retired. Nothing but time. So obviously you're talking about running up to, what you call it, Costco. You know, you make an interesting statement. We're retired, nothing but time. But man, the way some people drive around here, it just is like, what is the hurry? You know? Yeah, but I get it. Let's see. Orange Mini Cooper says it was great to see our first pictures and videos on Summer's Run. Questions: how high do they build up the foundations, and how do they pack down the sand to make sure that can support things? So my observation, it's anywhere from 12 to 18 inches or a little bit more, and I'm basing that on looking at the house I have. It's a veranda, so we don't have side drains on our street. It's down the center, and there is a substantial height difference, and that was built up like that, and the land was graded like that. They do pack it down pretty tight, and then they bring in anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of clay. Now you've seen them, the big dirt piles maybe. Most of that is clay. They save it because it's of great value. The one thing I have not seen issues with is foundation crackings. I've done over 300 houses. I think I've seen a crack in the foundation one time, and that's pretty good. I mean, for 300 houses, I've never heard people complaining about foundation cracks or anything like that. Now my house that I had in Haines City, when I pulled up the carpet to put down ceramic tile flooring in the living room, I had a crack that ran from the front door all the way out to the lanai, out the back door. And at some points it was, half an inch wide. It was ridiculous. I had to have it filled and packed, and I had some other cracking in the foundation, and that was because the ground wasn't prepared properly. I don't think you're going to see any problems with your foundation at all. Let's see. Eb says, when I moved to Florida in 1989 and rented, they would not rent for less than 7 months. Something about taxes. 35 years ago, though. Yeah, things have changed. Things have changed so much. I don't, 1989. Where was I in 89? Oh, yeah, I was underwater. I was still stationed in, 89. I was up in Connecticut back then. Yeah, I didn't move to Georgia until 80, I want to say 81, 82. No, 91, 92, 91 or 92. 91, that's right. So, yeah. But there you go. Wow, so it is 10 after 4. Probably a good time to call it a day. I want to thank everybody for joining in. We got 170 people on. Lots of good questions today. Thank you for submitting your questions. Hope to see you next week. I'm going to go barbecue some chicken now, and then do some video editing tonight. Like I said, I am pushing to get back on a 2-week schedule. It may not happen this weekend coming up, but definitely by next weekend coming up. Part of the problem is things are changing so fast that if I wait longer than about 2 weeks, everything's out of date, and it's just too much. Let's see, here we go. One more question here. What's the latest information on the end result of construction across the Turnpike and 470? So I'm assuming you're talking about the bridge or the area south of Dabney, and haven't seen anything in a while yet. So sorry. All right, folks, that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching today's broadcast of Gold Wingnut Live. These weekly broadcasts and the construction update videos are two of the ways I bring information to you about the construction happening here in the villages. At Gold Wingnut Productions, I also provide a photo-video service for new homes under construction. If you're building a new home in the villages and you need someone to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates, then contact me through my website, goldwingnut.com, and arrange for a photo-video package of your new home. I've nearly 20 years in the construction industry as a project manager, and in the last 6 years, Gold Wingnut Productions has provided this valuable service to over 300 homeowners. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work is being done right and when it's not. I'm not just taking pictures like some do. I'm watching your new home build with a trained eye to help ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange for your package today, and I'll see you next week right here at Gold Wingnut Live.